Good morning, Tracy. That tickle your ear? Huh? Is that what happened? There's Janine. How are you, Janine? Okay, now we're going here. Hey, Bob. We're here for another wonderful episode of Live Stream, where we talk about what you want to talk about. And Bite gets a whole bunch of attention and some kitty treats, which is the only reason you're here, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe that's the only reason any of you are here. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Good morning, Darth. I don't know what I'm going to do for Thanksgiving. This is my normally long weekend, but it's extra long this weekend because normally I'd go back to work on Thursday, but Thursday is Thanksgiving and they've decided to give us Black Friday off too. So I don't actually go back to work now until Saturday. And then it's only a 1 day week and then I'm off again. So I don't know. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. Thinking I'm going to make some of my mom's lasagna. I haven't had that for a long time, and that's always a good thing for Thanksgiving. I don't really do the whole turkey thing. It's too much work, especially when it's just me, right? Hey, Eric, how you doing? Mom's doing better. She's in her rehab place. Let's see, I read her text message. Just checking in, hoping everyone's having a great Thanksgiving week and a great day with the family. They're getting a lot of rain this week, so they're very happy about that. Um, she's working with a PT. She says it's a little too much for her, but that's the way it goes, and everything seems to be going well. So she wishes everyone a happy Thanksgiving. So yep, there's no way I want to travel during the holidays. No, I am going to make an announcement though. I am going to end up going home to going to Sacramento for about a week in early December. I don't want to go for Thanksgiving. I don't want to go for Christmas, but I think probably like the week of the 5th, I'm gonna fly home for a few days. I'm not really home because Sacramento isn't my home, but I'm gonna fly to California for a few days to visit my mom. Yeah, I definitely don't want to travel during the holidays. That's always a bad time. But I think first week of December will be a good time to do it because I can get there and back. Everyone will be done with the Thanksgiving travels and won't be thinking about Christmas travels for a couple weeks yet. So hopefully it'll be a good time. This one isn't going to be a secret though. You remember when I went to California for my mom's birthday a year and a half ago? That was a secret. She didn't know until I showed up at the front door. But as soon as I got the arrangement to have the time off at work, I let her know that I was coming this time. So it's not the secret, so I can tell you. Got to make the airplane reservations and all that fun stuff. Basically, all I've done is arrange to get some time off on work and let my sister know that I was coming and need a place to crash. Probably get that done this week. You did a product review and made 45 bucks, huh? That's cool. Turn around to spend it, huh? Yeah, I know how that works. Make a little extra money at work, and what do? I go buy a rock. But this is a cool rock, right? Bet you don't have one of these. Yeah, this thing is about the size of a bowling ball, really heavy, but it's also really cool under ultraviolet light. There's all sorts of colors in it. You really can't see it that well, but there's kind of blue green colors. There's kind of a dark blue in it. So it's another very cool ultraviolet reactive rock, and it's cool because this one's from Fort Worth, so it's a local rock. Yeah, I mean it's just me here, so there's not really a whole lot of need for me to make a big banquet it kind of thing. I love lasagna. I love my mom's lasagna, and so we'll do that, and that'll be a great Christmas thing. Who's looking after the kitties? The kitties are going to look after themselves. I'm only going to be gone for about 5 days, so I'll just give them a lot of water, a lot of food. They'll be glad to be gone, be without me for a while. It does sort of look like a loaf of bread, doesn't it? But yeah, look at all the crystals in that. Pretty, kind of plain color, but there's a like I said, it's really cool under a black light. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. A lot of time, what goes on there is I go in there when I'm ready to get something and look around and um, wait to see what speaks to me. Yeah, that took that vlog was spread over 3 days because actually I heard it last week, last Sunday when I got done with the live stream. Um, I began hearing the commotion in there and thought I had something in there and saw it, but it took 2 days to coax it down and get it out. So, and I knew I had to do something on Tuesday because Tuesday was my last day off, and there wasn't going to be a good idea to have that thing in there for another 4 days while I was work. Yeah, I thought there was a screen up there on the chimney. Haven't seen the squirrel yet, at least not that I know of. I mean, there's squirrels in the backyard, but I don't know. I didn't mark them, so I don't know. I don't know what they look like. They all kind of look alike. Now, if I made friends with them, it would have been a lot easier to get them out. And frankly, I don't want to make friends with them. I don't want them getting to the point where they're too tame with humans. Humans sometimes need to be feared. So I want to look out for their best interest, but I don't want them, dependent on humans or too trusting of humans. Probably just going to hang out here and have some lasagna. Going to make some of my mom's lasagna, I think, this week. That would probably be a good thing to order some presents for your parents, especially if you got a little money floating around. Hi, Mark. Yeah, welcome back. It's been a while, buddy. Mom's doing better. She's in rehab now. They finally got some rain, which I guess they've been needing for a while. Let me actually take a look and see what the rain looks like there. We got maybe some coming in here, but it kind of looks like it's kind of fading away as it kind of comes in. Might get a little bit of moisture, but I don't expect we're going to get a lot. Let's see what California looks like, though. It doesn't look like it's raining right now in California, but there is definitely a big storm coming in from off the ocean here. Big, massive storm. Looks like it's, let's see. See it looks like it goes all the way from Hawaii all the way to Canada, kind of moving northeast. I don't know. That might miss them. I guess the rain that hit California yesterday is done now. Okay, that makes more sense. Left your head off doesn't. I was wondering where you were going with that. Of course, laughing your head off that doesn't sound very healthy either. But you've been getting rain in Orlando. I don't know. I guess we could look here, huh? After all, I got the magic cell phone. I don't see a lot going on in Orlando right now, anywhere in Florida. A lot going off offshore here. I don't know, there's something wrong with this app. It keeps shutting down on me. It's really kind of rude. Yeah. I don't see anything happening right now in Florida. I've been hearing about the Icelandic volcano, Icelandic earthquakes. Probably not a lot of fun facing the possibility of a volcano, but it'll be interesting from a to watch it from a distance here. I like those strip LED lights. I'm thinking about putting them on my house. I actually have some of them along the porch, which is kind of cool. So I can light up the porch during different holidays. I'll do that for Christmas. A squirrel cam channel, huh? I always love it when it rains. We hopefully got a little rain coming in tonight and tomorrow. Like I said, there's a storm kind of blowing through, but as it moves more this direction, it kind of is fizzling out. So I don't think at this point we're going to get anything. It's just we're supposed to have like the temperature is supposed to plummet at some point. I'm actually looking at the computer right now. The computer in the lower part of the screen right down here says that it's going to be getting windy soon. So I don't know. We'll see. When am I traveling? I haven't decided yet. It's going to be. Let's see. What? Let me look at the calendar here. It'll probably be like sometime the first week of December. I haven't decided yet. I basically have between the 3rd and the 12th off. And so I want to take a few days during that time. Probably gonna go 4 or 5 days. So sometime during that point, I haven't decided yet. You drunk? You just walked over me, almost fell. Yeah, I will put Christmas lights up this year outside again. I don't know. I mean, I'm going to have a LED light strip for my rock collection, but I don't know so much about inside. I mean, this little thing that goes over the archway here. Those are LEDs. It's not a light strip per se. It's individual light emitting diodes, but you've ordered another item off my Amazon wish list. That must be what this is then. Oops. I was going to open this. I was going to unbox this today. So might as well do it now, right? Because this just came the other day, and I figured, okay, I'm going to open this up on the live stream. So I noticed I was looking at the list the other day, and I noticed that one of the items had fallen off the list, but I don't remember which one it was. And then I started thinking about it a little bit more, and yeah, that is what I thought it was. So yeah, that arrived the other day. Let's see. Do I actually have your real name now? All right, I do have your real name. Thank you, Darth. This, oops, this is actually an item I've actually wanted for a long time. So I really appreciate that. That one arrived the other day, and yeah, it's like a water tower, and I guess a little shanty building that goes along with it. Like I said, been a cool one that I've wanted on the list for a long time, and so I'm glad I got that one. Thank you so much, Darth. And as a matter of fact, I was on the Amazon wish list. Again today, and I put a bunch of new stuff up. We're coming up on Christmas, and I put I found some stuff. Actually, my mom about 6 months ago, when I started really getting into the trains, um, she pointed me out to a place that my parents used to get stuff called Department 56. You can look them up online. That has a whole bunch of like train village elements and stuff like that. It's really kind of pricey stuff, but I found out that Amazon has some of the stuff. And one of the things that I saw when I was looking at Department 56 is they got a whole bunch of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation stuff. And so I put like, 8 or 10 things from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation that are like little Christmas village stuff. It's the house, it's some little figurines, it's cousin Eddie and his motorhome, and a bunch of other stuff that if you wanted to find something that would be kind of fun, you know, it's on the list now. Yeah, I'd still like to do a deluxe telescope, but like I've said before, I'm concerned that I don't want to make it seem like I'm milking people, and I think that's just too big of an item. I'd feel guilty asking for something like that. I would admit, though, a telescope would be awesome, but a good one's going to be a couple $1,000s, and like I said, I'd be feel guilty putting that up. Yeah, I will put up the train village again this year, and I'll add all of the elements that my viewers have sent me over the last few months, including this one. Yeah, I did see the message in there. Yeah, his message is enjoy the gift. Oops, I did it again. It reminds me of the General Buster Keaton trying to put gas in the engine. Darth Saber or Darth Saber. So yeah, it comes with a little message, and let's see here. Basically, that's the message that came here. I don't know if you want your official name broadcast, but I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much. I love this. A bunch of glasses here blocking Matt's videos here. That's not cool. I'll put that up there so everybody can see it. I still need a cemetery. That is true. We'll put it right next to the Griswold house because eventually you know Clark's going to kill himself with all of his stunts. Yeah, I didn't hear anything about Rhonda showing up today, so yeah, the train set's going to have a lot more stuff this year. I was actually over at Walmart this year, and you remember last year I found those cool little clay buildings for like $2 a piece. Well, they had them again this year, but they got different ones. So I went one day and they had a whole bunch of them, and I went like the next day to go get them, and they were gone. So hopefully there'll be more out. I'll maybe check out this again this weekend, see if they have more of them. Because I mean it's still early in the season, so they got to have more coming in at some point. But I was surprised because it was different buildings. I was hoping that maybe there'd be new ones this year. Yeah, well, if you've looked at the Amazon wish list, the there's like three Halloween elements. There's like a horse-driven hearse. There's a cemetery, and then there's zombies walking around. And those would all be cool. Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Darth. I love it. We'll probably put that together today or tomorrow. I got a few days off now. You owned a horse-driven hearse? That's cool. That'd be a great Halloween prop, especially if you put like a coffin in it or something like that. Good morning, Connie. Yeah, this morning I've been really dehydrated. Well, honestly, I haven't really had a whole lot of days off in a long time because I'm doing vlogs so much. But actually, I've been thinking I might take a trip down to Houston and visit Johnson Space Center because I've wanted to go there for a long time, and that would be something I could turn into a vlog. That would definitely be an interesting vlog or vlogs. I saw somebody mention that that they understood me going back to 1 day a week. It might not be 1 day a week. It's just, I'm going to put videos up when I have something to do, when I have something that's worth doing, I think. I've been concerned that some of the videos I've been putting up lately, just, they don't, they aren't of the quality that I would like my videos to be. I want the videos to be interesting. And some of them are boring even to me. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah, I'm sure I'll start getting a little bit of boost on the JFK video as we come up on the 60-year anniversary. Can you believe it's been 60 years? People always say, where were you when JFK was shot? I got to admit, I don't have an alibi. I wouldn't mind having a scary theme a little bit for my Christmas village. As I've said before, Halloween and Christmas are my two favorite holidays. Break out the vodka. That's true. I'll drink to that. No, I haven't seen anything like that, Lindex. You were in kindergarten. Okay. I was 6 months from being born, so I think I probably have the best alibi. Halloween, Christmas, Halloween Village, Christmas Village. Hey, like I said, my two favorite holidays. I don't mind blending them together. That's sort of the reason I like the movie Nightmare Before Christmas. Born till the 70s. Okay. 1964 for me. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I was really dehydrated today. I don't know why. I had like two and a half glasses of milk for breakfast. I had a big glass of grapefruit juice before I started the live stream, and now got my glasses of water here and going through them pretty fast here. Might have to refill at some point. Yeah, I love things that are space related too, Mark. I spent the summer in Huntsville, Alabama, a number of years ago when I was working at the CD factory. They had a facility in Huntsville, and the department I worked in lost a person in the Huntsville plant, so they had me go back to Huntsville for, I don't know, basically almost 3 months in the summer one year, uh, and stay there to until I got somebody new hired. And they have a big space center in Huntsville. That's a big space place too. And they had and I went there and toured that, and that was a lot of fun. So Johnson Space Center sounds like that should be a blast. Tap water or filter? Neither. I buy it at the store. I buy one of those big 2.5 gallon jugs and just keep it in the refrigerator. And I like to have it nice and cold. So what I'll usually do is I'll pour it like, half hour, 45 minutes before the live stream, put it in the freezer so that when it comes out, it's got a little block of ice on it. Been dimming your lights like recently and playing lo-fi instrumental music. Okay. What is lo-fi instrumental music? I mean, I think of, I know what lo-fi rock and roll is. Guided by Voices used to be lo-fi rock and roll, but that just means some band getting drunk, going into the basement and recording songs, on their boombox. Yeah, I did hear about the SpaceX rocket. Well, he'll get it one of these days. Oh, Jordan and I reach out to each other every once in a while. Every once in a while, something happens that reminds us of the other, and then we'll send a text to each other. Yeah, I'll probably do a vlog putting that together. Hi, Roberta. How you doing? And there's Bite, as usual, holding the arm of the chair down here. See how I got to buy his affection. I do like the Flaming Lips, yes. Went and saw them about a year and a half ago with Jordan down at Willie Nelson's ranch, of all places. No, they got to go a long ways on those new rockets before they put people on it. Yeah, I've seen some of those freezer mugs. My mom's doing okay. She's still in rehab. Um, Basically, she was very excited because it's been raining a lot lately, and she likes that. All right, so it's a lot of sampling and drum loops. Okay, interesting. Uh, we're losing Tracy to lunch, huh? Have a good turkey day, Tracy. Well, that's why he's got to get so fat, Bill, so he doesn't fly away. Takes a lot of blubber to keep the couch from floating away. No, I don't have a drone. Drone is something I would love to get. Oh, Rhonda's probably working. You probably was just waiting for some indication that I have treats. I have proof that I have treats. Do I play guitar? No. No, Jordan plays guitar. I just own guitars. I've never been that musical, so my parents tried to push it, but it wasn't there. It never took. Well, that's why I do it, Gene. How many earthquakes? I mean, I've felt many, many earthquakes, but in terms of the big ones, I remember Silmar in the 70s. Uh, let's see, there was Whittier Narrows in the late 80s, Northridge in 94. And then, I live very close to the, which fault? The Elsinore fault. Uh, I was maybe 5 miles from the Elsinore fault where I lived in California. And so I felt a few, a few little ones on that. That was a pretty minor fault though. So it didn't create any really big earthquakes. I didn't experience Loma Prieta. That was up north. That was quite a quake though. Oh, I hate earthquakes. The problem is I know too much about them, and that just makes me more afraid of them. That's another one of the reasons I couldn't wait to get out of California. There aren't earthquakes here in Texas, at least not on this end of Texas. I guess they've got some like earthquakes on the west side of the state where they're doing all the drilling, but they're generally pretty small and pretty infrequent. Sacramento is far enough away from San Andreas that it's going to take a big fall, a big earthquake for Sacramento to feel it. Yeah, I don't like earthquakes. Don't like them at all. No, Yellowstone isn't on an earthquake fault. Yellowstone is a volcanic caldera. Basically, it's something they call a hot spot. It's basically you got to think of the Earth like an egg. Pretend an egg is round instead of like egg shaped. You get the shell of the egg. That's the crust that we walk on. That's like between 5 and 50 miles thick. Underneath that is lava. It's called magma. And then in the center, like the yolk of the egg, is an iron core. Well, the lava behaves like liquid. And if you ever watch like water boil in a pot, right before it boils, you'll start seeing little convection currents where the water is moving around. And what's happening is heat is coming up from the bottom, going up to the top, hitting the top, and then going around, circulating back down again. And so you get these little convection currents. Well, the same thing happens with lava. And there's certain areas where the lava is coming up, hitting the underside of the crust, and then spreading out and cycling back down again. And where the lava hits the underside of the crust, you got a lot of heat coming up deep from inside the earth, and that creates what they call a hot spot. And a hot spot, there's a hot spot under Yellowstone, and that's what creates uh, all of the geysers and all of the hot springs and all of that stuff. But basically, the whole valley is one big giant volcano. And someday that volcano, it's called a super volcano. Someday that's going to erupt, and when it does, that's going to be one of those extinction level events where there's going to be a massive change all over in the world as a result of that. There's another famous hot spot in the world too. It's what's created the Hawaiian Islands. And apparently, I guess Yellowstone erupts every two or 300,000 years or something like that. What am I doing for Thanksgiving? Probably just going to chill a little bit, and I've been thinking I'm going to make some of my mom's lasagna, and that's probably what I'll do. For Thanksgiving. It's just me here, so there really isn't any reason for me to be doing a big feast. That just gets a little crazy sometimes. You live in Brentwood, haven't felt any earthquakes. You will. It's just a matter of time. Lentil soup sounds good. Yeah. Never was really that much into gaming, so I've never played Grand Theft Auto. That is correct, Bill. Yeah, the mountain in the middle of Crater Lake is the new cinder cone. But yeah, basically the whole lake is a volcanic crater. See, that was funny. When I was a kid, my parents used to take us vacation to all sorts of places. So we went to Yellowstone, we went to Crater Lake, and I visited a lot of those places, and that was a lot of fun. That's what I think got me really into geology too, is because when I first when we went to Crater Lake, we didn't really know what it was. My dad actually was under the impression that it was a meteor crater, and only later did we find out, no, this is a the mouth of a volcano that filled in with water. I don't know about a Thanksgiving live stream. I'll definitely do another Christmas one. Mount Shasta, Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens. A lot of volcanoes in that area because it's right on the San Andreas Fault. And kind of as you move north, San Andreas kind of changes a little bit too, because when you're down in Southern California, San Andreas is what they call a transform plate boundary, where the plates slide back and forth relative to each other. In fact, they're really just moving in one direction. But as you begin moving north and the fault line kind of turns to the west, it turns into a subduction where you got one plate going under another. And when that happens, that's when you start getting volcanoes. You turn 19 on the 30th, huh? That's cool. Happy birthday. Oh, love spaghetti. No, I haven't been to all the states. I've been to a lot of the ones in the western half of the United States. But once you get to kind of eastern United States, I mean, I've been to Florida, I've been to Alabama, I've been to Massachusetts, I've been to New York. But yeah, not much else other than that. But western half of the United States, I've been to pretty much all of them, I think. Because like I said, my parents used to go um, on vacations, and we go visit national parks. And so I've been to the Grand Canyon, that's in Arizona. Went to New Mexico, been to Colorado, Wyoming, Oregon, Washington, Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, Iowa, Ohio, Michigan. Well, there's nothing that's earthquake proof. Well, actually, there are some houses that are. I saw a documentary once about some houses that people were building that weren't wood frame, but had like plywood on the outside, and then it was bonded to like styrofoam on the inside. So it was really well insulated, and they determined that it was actually pretty earthquake proof because they actually put it on an earthquake simulator machine, and they broke the machine trying to break the house. But generally, the houses you get in California aren't earthquake proof, they're earthquake resistant. My house in California, for instance, held up pretty well to the few earthquakes that were there. There weren't any big ones because my house in California was built in '96, and the last major earthquake there was Northridge in '94. So I remember the LA riots. Yeah, when I was, like I said, I traveled from time to time for work. And so I went to trade shows, and sometimes they were on the East Coast. And I mentioned I'd been to Massachusetts. And when I was in Massachusetts, the hotel I was in was right on the Boston Commons. And so, on days off and stuff like that, I traveled around and got to see some really cool places. I guess I've heard of people using like dirt to as insulation for the houses. I don't know if I've ever heard them called earth bag houses. So job's going well. It was a crazy day yesterday, but that's part of the fun. That's why I make the big bucks. Now you're a long way away from anything geological in Vermont. No, I haven't ridden the bike a whole lot. It's been too hot to do it. It might be a little more, bit nicer to do it now. I used to live in a town called Placentia, which is a little bit north and east of Anaheim. And my commute was probably about 15 minutes. Going to Sam's Club and Dollar Tree, huh? Gotta go spend all that money you made, huh? I didn't get on the freeway when I went to Disneyland. I took side streets, so my commute was about 15 minutes. You're gonna skip the 5 minute ad for a Chinese video game, huh? I appreciate that. I enjoyed what I did at Disneyland. The problem I had at Disneyland is there was no opportunity for me. Management, for some reason, didn't like me, and so they didn't want to give me any opportunities. Even when I tried to transfer to another department, they, I think that they would talk to my manager, and my manager would say, I don't like him. And they would never, and, other departments would never even talk to me. I just got to the point where I was done being angry at them. You gotta accept the fact that sometimes that there's just people that are filled with hate, and you just gotta go find your own way. I gave up on them. I've been talking about coming to Texas for a long time. I did, and I'm very, very glad. I'm very happy here. This place rocks. What's in Walla Walla, Washington? Well, I mean, it didn't take much to know more than management. I'd been there long enough to see how they promoted people, and it was clear that everyone that I ever encountered in management was, let's just say, special. And I think they all knew that they weren't very smart, and so their practice of promoting people was that they always promoted people that were dumber than they were. And I don't know. I don't see that as being a long-term strategy. Just saying. Because I think of the entire time I was there for 12, almost 13 years. I can't think of one significant accomplishment that anybody in management did to make anything better. And that's what it is. You got to grow. I can't think of anything that changed in the time I was there. Yeah, they do different parades every once in a while, but it wasn't the parade management that designed the parades. It was the Imagineers. They'd come up with some new theme, and that would turn into a new parade, and then the parade managers would just make sure that it goes out on time. Everybody was in their places, but nothing changed. How's Flash? Flash is doing well, but she's slowing down now because it's getting a little cold. So um, yeah, I think I finally found the place where she sleeps when I haven't been able to find her. If you remember, for like the last year or so, about half the nights I can't figure out where she is. Well, I think I found out where she is, and she went. She was in that place about 3 nights ago, and she's still there now. So I don't think she's moved in 3 days. So it's getting close to the point where we're going to start putting her in her box. But you know how that works with her. It could just it's a it's all a matter of what the weather is. People that think when creatures hibernate, they think of like bears and things like that, where they go to bed and they'll sleep for the next 4 months. Well, she isn't really hibernating in the sense of hibernating, where she just goes to bed and is gone for 3 or 4 months. It's all based on temperature. So if we get a little heat wave in the middle of January, she'll be up and about. Well, and I always did that too, Lindex. But like I said, sometimes people just don't want to hear what you have to say. And then, of course, the things that really irritated me was when I would make a suggestion at Disney and management would say no, and then that same manager would go present the idea as their idea and get it implemented. That happened a couple of times. No, Disney's gone downhill because they've gone woke. You know, they're pushing the gay and trans agenda and stuff like that. And it's like people don't want that pushed on them. The position at work is going great. I'm really happy there, and I seem to be doing well. It's funny, the person that initially suggested that I apply for this position, the person I replaced, by the way, um, before I even had this position, she's already telling me what my next position is. And I think she's right because I've been kind of working with somebody else who's basically kind of getting to the point where he's going to be close to retirement age here pretty quick. He's probably at retirement age now, but he at some point he's going to want to leave, and I might be the next him. So that might be my next move. I don't know. We'll see. It is funny. My boss has mentioned to me on a couple of occasions that he envisions a day where I'm his boss. If I made this move, I would be his boss. So it's funny how that works. I don't see any reason to retire at this point. I enjoy what I do. I get satisfaction out of days, even when it was a difficult day like yesterday. I kind of still feel good at the end of the day. It's like, okay, well, I feel like I accomplished something. So I like that feeling, and I don't see myself retiring anytime soon. No, Smithsonian, that's definitely a place I'd love to go, but I've never visited it. I've never been to Washington, D.C. I think I probably would have had to start with the company a little younger. I don't know if there's enough time to become head of the company, but I'm happy with the moves I've made so far. Problem solving, Lindex. Yeah, we had some mechanical problems that caused some serious headaches yesterday. It happens. I decided to change the frequency just because I needed a little bit more time on my own. And the truth is, I've got a full time job. Doing a vlog has become a full time job. And honestly, I'm also to the point where I don't travel that much for my vlogs. So, and I live in kind of a small town. So I really kind of shown you everything that's in the immediate area. And I thought my vlogs were getting a little boring, and I just kind of felt like I was phoning it in a little bit. And I thought decreasing the frequency would solve all those problems. Give me a little bit more me time, allow me to save, my vlogs for things that are really good, and um, hopefully the quality will improve. Yeah, I mean, you never know what's going to drop into your lap. The little squirrel incident was just, you know, it just happened. No, I didn't hear about the riots on the Bay Bridge. There's just sometimes that something's going to happen, or I'm going to go do something. I said this will be a good vlog, but then there's days where it's like, let's go for a hike, or let's do something like that. And it gets to the point, how many times are people going to watch me hike around Cameron Park? I want to make vlogs that are fun to watch. Quality, not quantity. I mean, I got a couple of good vlogs that are, kind of in my head right now that I'll do at some point. But well, I also enjoy doing the filming locations. especially if it's a movie I like. There's a lot of movies that were shot in and around Waco, but they aren't movies that I've ever seen, so I wouldn't be the best person to vlog them. But if it's a movie I enjoyed, and I really love Logan's Run, so seeing the filming locations of that was great. I really enjoyed RoboCop, despite the ups and downs for me on that movie, and so it was fun seeing that. And like I said, I got one more that I want to do that's in Austin. That's kind of been on my list to do for a long time, and we'll get to that at some point too, because that's another movie I really love. Yeah, well, I mean, I've always looked at Disney. There's so many talented people there at Disney, and then there's just people that kind of ride along on their coattails. But there's so much talent there that I look at Disney like a billionaire who loses $1,000. It's like, okay, to a normal person, $1,000, that's a lot of money. But when you're a billionaire, $1,000 is like, it's not even worth looking for. And when you have so many talented people there, if you lose a few, whatever. And I think that's sort of their approach. I think the word, John, you're looking for is mostly peaceful. Yeah, I don't see any evidence at this point that Disney is learning its lesson. I love the new weather station. It's working great. No, unfortunately, Index, it isn't really family oriented anymore. Well, I think the nature of the black light is going to probably have to be the black light flashlight, because even with fluorescent black lights, there's not enough ultraviolet content in there to do it. You need really a bulb that is ultraviolet like this one is to really get the effect. But I'm going to put like an LED light strip in it, um, and I could put multiple colors on it because the LED light strips are a three array light bulb. So it's what, red, green, and blue. And so by different combinations of that, it's basically the same thing as that. You can see all the different colors that you're getting out of that. That's just a three array light strip. And so you got the blue and the white and the red and the green and different colors that you can do by just mixing different variants of those three main colors. And you rocks to my collection. As a matter of fact, yes, I just got this bad boy. Doesn't look like a whole lot from this side, but when you look at it from the inside, look at all the crystal activity going on in there. And this one's really cool under a black light. And unfortunately, the camera doesn't really show you uh, really well what it looks like because it all kind of washes out. But what you see is lots of light blues, lots of dark blues. There's all sorts of beautiful stuff going on in this one. It doesn't look that spectacular. It's just kind of bland, a little bit of crystalline activity inside of it. But yeah, that's a really cool one. I just picked that one up last week. Ah, it's about the size of a bowling ball and it weighs about as much too. Yeah, well, Spaniel mom, haters gonna hate. I don't have time to worry about them. No, the cool thing about cooking vlogs is that they're actually relatively easy to do. And there's the added benefit that um, I get meals for a couple of days when I have one of those. More often than not, I'll double the recipe when I make something, and I'll end up feeding myself for a few days. So no, they aren't terribly difficult to do. They're actually relatively easy to do, and they don't take a lot of time because there's no travel. It's just a matter of going to the grocery store, getting the stuff, and then putting it all together. There will be more cooking vlogs, definitely. Because I mean, if you do cooking yourself, cooking itself is relatively easy to do, and it isn't really any more complicated when are just having to film it. You're just doing a little bit of narration and talking about what you're doing. So, no, I haven't made any new ice cream yet. I don't know if it's made me a better cook. It's introduced me to some new things that some new recipes that have turned into things that I really like. There have been half a dozen recipes that I've discovered here that have been some of my favorites, have become some of my favorite things. You still don't like the Instant Pot, huh? Well, I mean, I guess it isn't for everybody. I love mine. I use mine all the time. All right, one down, one to go. There have been a couple of things that I wasn't really that into, and I'd have to go through the recipes and let's see if I can do that quickly here. There were a couple of recipes that I didn't think turned out that well. Let's see if I can find them really quick. Playlists. Okay, there we go. Cooking vlogs. Okay, let's go right to the bottom here. Um, the feta tomato basil fish. I would do that one differently. It didn't turn out as well as I hoped it would. I'd probably use a different kind of fish and probably a little bit more of the tomato sauce, the tomato basil sauce. That wasn't really that good. The molten brownie pudding in the Instant Pot, that was sick how good that was. That was one of them. That's one of my new favorites. Um, the green chicken enchiladas, those were good. Pickled okra, we tried a couple times to do cornbread in the Instant Pot. I never made that work. Steamed fish and vegetables in the Instant Pot. That one blows me away. That's my fifth most viewed video ever. And I don't know. I don't think that one was that good. Um, carrot cake, that was really, really good. Cedar Plank salmon was really good. But yeah, there have been a few of them that I don't think worked out really well. I wasn't really a fan of LBJ, and I went to the Presidential Museum with Jordan, so I think I've gone as far with that one as I'd want to go. I've been to the Reagan Library. I'd definitely go see Lincoln if that was close by. I've been to the Reagan Library a couple times. I think once with Jordan. That's an impressive place. And of course, I used to live like just a couple miles from the Nixon Library, so I've been there a few times. Hello, Bite. You back for more? Huh? And I'll go see the George W. Bush one at some point. Jordan's a huge fan of presidential libraries, so it wouldn't surprise me if at some point he goes to all of them. That'd be interesting to find something like that when you're building a house or rebuilding a house. I think last time I was at the zoo, I saw that they were building a penguin encounter. I was so sad to hear about their giraffes. They had a giraffe last summer that had a baby, and they were very excited about it. And then, like 2 weeks later, the mom died, and then like a week later, the baby died. So that was really sad. Yeah, if you're into presidential libraries, the Reagan Libraries is a very impressive place. I've even been to, and the grave is on the site there too. So I got like a picture of myself. Let me see if I can find that. It's probably in Facebook here. In there. There's a picture. I'm almost embarrassed about it now, but let's see if we can get it so you can see it. That's a picture of me at the Reagan Library with uh, the guy, Paul Ryan. He was the guy was a vice president candidate under Mitt Romney, and then later became Speaker of the House. I'm embarrassed now by that picture because it turned out to be such a disappointing character. Let's see here. I have a picture somewhere here of me at Reagan's grave. I might not be able to find it really easily here. That's a picture of me at the Nixon Library getting off the Marine One helicopter that Nixon rode in when he left after he resigned. I might not be able to find that really easily, but we'll look for a second here, see if I can find an obvious place. Maybe it's under graves. I got a picture in I got a folder on my Facebook page of different graves that I've been at of famous people. It seems like it would make sense that the Reagan grave would be in that one, but I guess not. I got a picture of myself at the Reagan uh, gravesite, but I can't find it right now. I think there was some sort of accident that happened with the giraffes. Well, he's Ronald Reagan has the one son, the adopted son, who turned out to be a good conservative. Yeah, but yeah, it is interesting that his natural born kids turned into be liberals. Yeah, a lot of great stuff at the Nixon Library too. I can't remember what the because there's the adopted kid of Ronald Reagan. I don't remember what his name is. Let's see, Michael Reagan. Yeah, Mike. Yeah, Michael. He's a good solid conservative. See, sometimes I feel like I got to go to Google for things when I just ought to ask my viewers because you guys usually come up with the answer before I can find it on Google. Black Hawk Automobile Museum. Never heard of that. Is there a Donald Trump library? I don't know. I guess there would have to be. If it was close, I'd definitely go to the Donald Trump library. When you say the JFK limo, is it the JFK limo? Because I've seen a couple of the presidential limos because they had one at the Reagan or at the Nixon Library. I don't remember if there was one at the Reagan Library. They had an Air Force One in the Reagan Library. That was really cool. And there was also one when I went to the George W. Bush one, George H.W. Bush. Okay, the JFA assassination limos, the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit. Okay. Yeah, it was after that that they stopped doing you know, limos without that weren't completely surrounded by bulletproof glass. And you don't realize how thick that glass is until you see one of them. It's really impressive when you look at the glass on the presidential limo in the George H.W. Bush Museum because I mean the glass is that thick. Yeah, they call him the Beast. That's right. They weigh more than a Tesla. Yeah, you'd think that would have been retired immediately. Yeah, that's what I heard. They redid the inside. Tesla's an interesting car, but it's got a lot of problems to it. They're gonna have to figure those problems out. I haven't been to a movie in the movie theater in forever. Well, I'm going to enjoy the fact that I'm off of work for Thanksgiving Day. That'll be nice. Probably just take it easy that day. Yeah, I guess Gene's checking out. Is that church time again? That's when we usually lose Gene. Yeah, me too, Lindex. Alone for Thanksgiving, family out of state. I heard that both Jimmy and Mrs. Carter are on hospice now. It's funny because Jimmy went on hospice like 6, 8 months ago. Usually, I think when you go into hospice, it's like days, and then but I don't know. I guess we would have heard if Jimmy had passed. It's generally not good when they put you in hospice. Because I remember the last week that my dad was alive, you know, they were talking, that was when my mom and dad were getting ready to move into the senior assisted place. And right before they did that, they were started talking about putting my dad in hospice, and they were wondering if they could do the hospice in the assisted living place. And initially they said yes, but at the end it just didn't happen. Yeah, I guess my experience with it is it's usually pretty fast, but I guess it's just how they. I guess it just depends on what the issue is. When my dad went from having his surgery to being gone within a week. In fact, that's one of my lost videos. It's a video I produced that never got posted because by the time it was due to get posted, he was already gone. There was a video that I shot a couple days before he passed away, uh, where I went walking around the park just talking about what was going on and how it wasn't looking good. And by the time that was, it was scheduled to go live, he was already gone. So at that point, I just said it doesn't even make sense to post that one. I got a couple lost videos. Just depends on how things work out. It's funny we haven't seen Jeff today. Wonder if they're having a big shindig at church. Maybe because it's Thanksgiving. That happens sometimes, I guess. It's funny. I still like have dreams about him all the time. It's odd because he and I weren't really close when I was a kid, but when I became an adult, we got a lot closer. I am glad that he got to know that I got a good job because he found that out, a few days before he passed away. He never lived to see me start the job, but I'm happy that he learned that I got it because he knew that was, he supported me all along in my move, but he also pointed out, this is kind of a risky move. If you go to Texas and it doesn't work out, there's no coming back because there's no way I'd be able to come back to California and be able to afford a house there again. But he supported me the entire way. I would just love talking to him about what's going on in my life now because there'd be so much that he'd be interested in. My mom said that too a whole bunch of times that he would have loved being here, helping me, get my house going and start my life over and stuff like that. And if his health had been, if he'd been able to do it, he would have been here. I mean, so many of the things I know how to do, I know how to do because of him. You could say he had a kind of a profound effect on my life. right, I need you to. Yeah, spend a little time making bite exercise here. Because he needs the exercise. Yeah, I fooled you with that one, didn't I? It's, one of the bad decisions of all time. We didn't that well. What's going to happen now? And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like things are moving. Numbers